Hi everyone, welcome. So today I have my initial thoughts on the FlashForge Adventure 5M, not the Pro model. Um, I purchased this machine off of AliExpress for $268.10. That includes tax and shipping. I actually got this machine because I follow Feder over at 3D Print SOS, and he posted on his YouTube channel that AliExpress had this machine for $250. I thought that was a steal, or could possibly be a steal, so I pulled the trigger. I gave it a shot. But yeah, since this is kind of his fault, I'm gonna steal his style a little bit, go through the initial cons and pros of this machine that I've seen in the last week of printing. So yeah, let's get started. So first up, for my first con on this machine, pulling it out of the box and putting it together is relatively straightforward. It's very simple. The one thing I did not like about that was the ribbon cable for the touchscreen. It is literally just a ribbon cable with no connector on it that you're sliding into a little connector into the touchscreen. I did not like that. Give me a solid connector to plug in, and then the excess ribbon cable when you're mounting it onto the printer. That was a scary experience. Well, I felt like I was going to screw something up, pinch the pinch the ribbon cable on the frame of the machine, and I was worried it wasn't going to turn on, but it did. It worked fine. So just a little stressor that I didn't think needed to be there. Let's see. The filament that came with the machine, I know this is probably beating a dead horse for some of you that have gotten into printers and have purchased a couple printers yourselves, but the filament that comes with the machines, it just throw it away. It doesn't come in a spool. It tangles. It's just not worth it. The first print I did on the machine, it worked out okay. I got this kind of benchy off with no problem. But then the second print I tried to do, well, it tied itself into a knot. It even damaged my Teflon tube in the back going into the filament run out sensor. Yeah, just throw it away. It's no good. And then speaking of the filament runout sensor, mine does not appear to be working. I had one print here that I actually saw that the filament had run out. So I had a couple of old spools of PLA, black PLA. Hey, wake up, you. And so this print was about halfway done. When I noticed that the spool was empty, I actually watched it pull. I undid the Teflon tube from the tool head and watched it pull the last bit of filament in before I paused it and swapped over to the next really old spool of black filament. So that was one nice thing. It did complete it. You can't even tell where I paused the print. But yeah, the fact that the filament sensor doesn't seem to be working. Let's see. The printer profiles and presets and everything on the machine seem to be a little lackluster, a little wanting. I don't have a whole lot of experience with this stuff. I have had a few printers in my day, but nothing like a 3D Print SOS or a Mandic Really, or name any other 3D print YouTuber out there. But when I first started printing on this machine, all the files that came with it printed just fine, except for this one because I used their filament that came with it. When I first started slicing my own files, I downloaded Orca Slicer for the first time and started sending prints through that, and I was having a hard time getting the print to stick. I didn't think anybody would put PLA bed temperature at 50 anymore. Maybe that works for you, but it hasn't worked for me in a long time. So I bumped that up to 65, and that did take care of the problem. But like I just recently saw Mandic Really say, I think I really wish companies would do 3D printer profiles. I wish they would put more work into those. As far as Mandic Really says, he even thinks the Bambu profiles are trash. And from my experience, I don't have an experience with Prusa, but from my experience, Bambus are pretty good. He thinks Prusas are the only good ones. So I would imagine that the Prusa profiles just must be spot on then. Let's see. That's pretty much it I have for the cons at this point. I've only had this machine for a week now, printing on it for a week. So yeah, it seems pretty solid so far. So pros is it's solid. Like, it is a solid printer. It is heavy, but not like extremely heavy. If there is any wiggle to it, it's because of whatever surface it's sitting on. It's not the machine itself. The next pro would be it's cheap. I think the $299 price tag on this machine as of recording is there to stay. I don't think it's a sale. I think that's just marketing. I think it's $299. And yeah, I would say that's a pretty decent price for this machine. Don't think I'm going to start recommending it over the A1 Mini. I still think the spit shine on the A1 Mini is just too good for the price. But at $299, this seems like it'd be a pretty good machine to get. The touchscreen, it's a good size, and it seems fairly responsive. I had printed out. They have like a little stylus or whatever that you can use, and that really helps. I like to, even though my fingers aren't massively fat, it doesn't matter. I seem to always fat finger everything. Yeah, the touchscreen is actually, I think, pretty impressive, especially for the price point that this machine is at. And then, even though I haven't actually used it, I have taken the nozzle out just to check. The quick swap nozzle on this, I think is fantastic. Like, I wish it had that on the Bambu Labs machines, although these aren't horrible. This is just so much easier. It's like the A1 Mini. Very, very easy, very fast. It's just boom, boom, swap those nozzles out. Easy peasy. And then the overall print quality, I have had some failures, like this poor little Bone Dragon. His wings didn't stick. Again, I'm going to try to reprint this guy with the higher heat bed temperature. Same with this guy. He obviously has some boo-boos. But I mean, overall print quality, once I bumped that bed, I am fantastic with the talkies. Once I bumped the bed temperature up to 65, things seemed to stick really well. This Dragon Scale Mail came out really great. Printed pretty fast. I don't remember the exact time, but it was 3 or 4 hours, I think. So far, I'm pretty impressed with the machine. It's not quite exactly what I like as far as pretty much plug and play like the Bambu Labs are for me, in my experience. But for the price point and for how not plug and play it is, that's fantastic. How not plug and play it is, it's hard to beat so far. I'll keep messing with it. I'll keep playing with it. And, here in a couple months, maybe I'll give my full review. If it keeps going the way I hope it's going to go, it's going to find a spot in my normal rotation. If not, I'll probably let her go and let somebody else have fun with it. But as of right now, I can definitely see this being in my rotation. So yeah, there's my 2 cents on the FlashForge Adventure 5M. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. If not, well, I guess don't. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.